Buffalo Bills fell victim to the Houston Texans in Week 5 in what was a forgettable performance by the squad, and it resulted in their record dropping to 3-2 on the season. In this game, almost everything was bad for the Bills. Josh Allen had the worst passing game of his career, completing just 30% of his 30 pass attempts, and his receivers, they couldn't get open. They couldn't haul in passes to make plays, with the exception of Dalton Kincaid and Keon Coleman, who made a few plays along the way in a loss. The defense, they also failed to meet the standard in this game, as they allowed 17 points in the first half and helped the Bills create a 20-3 deficit by the third quarter. Despite this, the Buffalo Bills made things interesting in a comeback effort that once again came up just short. And their comeback effort was brought to a halt by none other than their very own head coach, Sean McDermott, who made a series of head-scratching decisions to close out the game in the final sequence. Welcome back to the Bills Bunker, everybody. As you can see, not in the studio, not at a game. I am in the Houston airport. At the time of recording this video, it's about 4 a.m. That just shows my dedication to this channel, recording a video 4 a.m. in the airport on my way back home. But this trip, it's made me tired. It's been exhausting. It was a disappointing close, but awesome experience down in H-Town. I appreciate the southern hospitality from everyone here. But come on, that was a really disappointing loss. And Sean McDermott, I think it's time we have a discussion about him. You might not like what I have to say in this video. I really appreciate everything he's done for the team. He has been a great coach in terms of installing a culture and been great at developing players. But I think he might have his limitations, and we're going to talk about that in this video. But before we dive in, I'd like to take a moment to encourage you to click subscribe and stay tuned for more content coming your way all season long right here on the Bills Bunker. I'm going to be doing another one of these road trips very soon. I'm going to be going to Seattle at the end of the month, and I'll also be at every single home game for the Buffalo Bills all throughout the season, hopefully into the playoffs as well. So the Bills came up just short in the final moments of the game as Coach McDermott failed miserably with his game management. With 32 seconds remaining in regulation, things were tied up. The Bills were pinned back inside their own 5-yard line for a 1st and 10, and notice how Buffalo has 0 timeouts. You'd think at this point Buffalo would run the ball and play to go to overtime, but that's not what happened. They started this drive by attempting a pass to Keon Coleman. That pass resulted in incompletion, and following that, Josh Allen threw 2 more incomplete passes, and Buffalo was forced to punt the ball to Houston with 16 seconds and all their timeouts left. From there, it took the Texans just 1 offensive play and this walk-off field goal to win the game. Fairbairn drilled it. There was never a doubt, and the Texans get the win in what was a heartbreaking loss for Buffalo. This was an absolute disaster for the Bills, and it was a really head-scratching decision by the coaching staff. But this is not the first time that we've seen something like this in Buffalo. Just think back to last year's playoff loss against the Kansas City Chiefs, where back-to-back passing plays were called, and they set up Tyler Bass for the field goal attempt that was sailed wide right to finish their season. Or you can even go back further, the 2021 divisional game at Arrowhead, where the Bills lost in overtime after leading with just 13 seconds left on the clock. There are really so many examples of this, and it's almost become predictable at this point. In almost every instance that things come down to the wire, in crunch time, there's going to be a head-scratching decision that leads to a loss against the good teams in the NFL. You know that the Bills can beat the bad teams, but that's not the expectation when you have Josh Allen at the quarterback position. The big question for Bills fans that they have to ask themselves is if Sean McDermott can lead this team to a Super Bowl with Josh Allen at quarterback. McDermott has been the head coach of this team since 2017, and he's done a great job of installing a culture and helping with the development of a lot of players. But can he take this team to the next level? It's a serious question that Bills fans have to ask themselves. It's a question that we have to think about, and based off of a large sample size that we've seen, he's proven that he can't at this point in time. Listen, I don't like saying these things. I like Sean McDermott as a person. I like everything he's done for the Buffalo Bills. I think he's done a great job installing that culture. He helped make this team a consistent playoff contender. But can he get the team to the next level? I'm not so sure about that. This was some head-scratching decisions that were made in this game against the Houston Texans, and it's something that we've seen before. And typically, Sean McDermott likes to play things more conservative. You'd think he would run the ball there, but instead, we're going for it when really there's no benefit to doing that. You're not going to win the game when you're pinned back inside your own 5-yard line with no timeouts, and the Texans had 3 to burn. So it's just some mind-boggling stuff for me. Like I said, McDermott, he's been a great coach for the Bills up to this point, but can he get the team to the next level? It's something that we really have to ask ourselves, and I want to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Sean McDermott can take this team to the next level? Do you think it's time to look for a new coach? And is there a coach out there that you'd like to see? Because that's the next question. Like, who is the next coach for the Buffalo Bills if Sean McDermott is eventually let go? I'm not sure that this is going to happen right now. And if it does happen, obviously in the middle of the season, I don't think it's going to happen right now. But if this were to happen in the middle of the season, then you have to really, it's going to be a whole new process, and the season's probably going to go worse than it is right now. So the Buffalo Bills are still 3-2. They have a winning record, but I think that there has to be a higher standard for the Buffalo Bills. They're a team that consistently in the playoffs, they have Josh Allen at the quarterback position. They need to be able to compete against these good teams, and in their 2 big tests this season, they've both had disappointing results. So these head-scratching decisions, they're really coming back to haunt the Bills, and they can't continue like this. They just can't continue to have the same thing happen time and time again. They're getting burnt in the same way consistently. And if you don't like what I have to say, that's fine. This is my opinion, and like I said, I like Sean McDermott as a coach, but I feel like a lot of people won't say this kind of thing because they're working for somebody. They have to say certain things. I'm telling you my opinion. I'm being completely real and honest with you. If you disagree, that's fine, but I want to know if you agree or disagree. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you haven't yet, click subscribe. Stay tuned for more content coming your way all season long. Like I said, I'm here in the Houston airport right now. It's been a journey to get here. I'm going to have a lot of content coming all week long, so stay tuned for that right here on the channel. Go Bills. Got to go Bills right there. See you soon.